Hi there, Richard Pavlidis here. Thanks for tuning in again to my second Patreon lesson, and today we're going to cover an introduction to chord scale theory. Now, if you've ever looked at a lead sheet of a jazz standard and been a bit confused at all the chord symbols there and not been quite sure what's going on, then chord scale theory is something that you'll need to learn a bit about. So chord scale theory refers to which scale you can use to improvise over which chord. So I'll put that another way. When the rhythm section is playing a certain chord, say for example C major, we need to learn what scale corresponds with that chord. And then we can use that scale to make up melodies and improvise. So now that we know our major scales pretty well, this shouldn't be too hard. So we start with the C major scale and we have a look at what notes are in there. We've got C, which is the first, D, which is the second, E, the third, F, the fourth, G, the fifth, A, the sixth, and B, the seventh. Now normally a C major scale starts on C and goes to C, starts from the 1 and goes up to the 1. But we can create a very different sound using the same set of notes by starting on a different scale degree. For example, the second. So we start on D, play all the same notes that are in a C major scale, but up to D, and then back down to D. So then we get what's known as a D Dorian scale. If we start on the third scale degree, so the E in this case, then we get a Phrygian scale. On the fourth scale degree, so F, we get an F Lydian scale. If we start on the fifth scale degree, so the G, we get a G Mixolydian scale or a G dominant scale. If we start on the sixth degree, so the A in this case, we get an A Aeolian or natural minor scale. And if we start on the B, so the seventh degree in this case, we get a B Locrian scale. Now this is quite a lot to take in, so it's not something that you need to memorize instantly. It's just part of our ongoing study of scales and how to approach them. Now, all these scales are applicable over different chords. So straight away, as soon as we know our major scales, all that practice we've done over major scales actually applies to a lot more chords than just the equivalent major chords. So I'll show you how some of this material can be applied over common jazz chord progressions. First, we have probably the most common progression in jazz, a 2-5-1. So in the case of C major, we start on D minor 7, the 2. We go to G7, that's the 5. Then we end on C major, that's the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next we have a 1-6-2-5. So C major, A minor 7, D minor 7, G7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have something very similar. Instead of a 1-6-2-5, we have a 3-6-2-5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, we have just a 1 to a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then Then we have a 2 to a 5. So we just have 2 and 5 repeating instead of resolving to the 1. This is a very common progression in funk and soul music. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then last we have a 2, 5, 1, 4 progression. So again, a lot of the same material repeating, but just in a different order. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can practice making up melodies using these applicable scales, which are all just modes of, in this case, the C major scale, but you can do it in other keys as well. And when you receive the PDF for this week's lesson, you'll see that I've written some example solos there over these common chord progressions that you can use as a basis for making up some of your own. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I hope you found this useful. Please feel free to email me with any questions. And we're going to try and build on this in the next lesson. Again, check out that PDF. Make sure you have a practice through it, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.